You see a date pop up online, August 3rd, 2025, and with it comes this incredibly cryptic, philosophical warning. Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down here. It's not about predicting some big event, but about a really profound challenge aimed right at us. So let's dive in and try to figure out what this warning is really all about. So, the big question, right? What happens on August 3rd, 2025? The source video that started all this uses that exact date in its title. But here's the twist. It never actually says what's going to happen. Instead, it uses that looming date to grab our attention, to get us to listen to a powerful monologue about the dangerous path humanity is on right now. You see, it's not so much a prophecy as it is a diagnosis of our current condition. And where does this diagnosis come from? Not from some scientific paper or government report, but from a short, almost poetic video posted by a social media user. It's fascinating. So let's deconstruct this message, piece by piece, to really get a handle on the warning, where we came from, where we might have gone wrong, and the massive choice we now have to make.
According to this monologue, our problems didn't start with some bad policy or a new piece of tech. Nope. It claims the problem starts with something inside us, a kind of spiritual sickness it calls arrogance. And it argues that this is the exact spot where we first took a wrong turn.
The video zeroes in on this one line. Man, born of woman, became arrogant. The idea here is that humanity completely forgot where it came from, our humble beginnings, our dependence on each other and on nature. And instead of humility, we started patting ourselves on the back, just constantly singing the praises of our own power and our own knowledge. And this wasn't just some vague feeling of pride. It took on some really specific forms. It showed up as this constant need to brag about how smart we are, which led to a complete loss of any kind of spiritual connection. The original text even says that devotion became unknown. All of this led to this incredibly dangerous belief that humanity itself was the ultimate great power in the universe. Now, this inner pride, this arrogance, didn't just stay bottled up inside us. The monologue argues that it spilled out into the real world, and the results were devastating. It started to tear the very fabric of our society apart. And our arrogance found the perfect tool to make this happen, a single, powerful force that took our pride and weaponized it, turning human against human. It created what the source calls a game specifically designed to divide all of us. And that force, the video identifies it with just one word: money. It's presented as the engine of our separation, the fuel for the fire of our arrogance. The idea is that money stopped being a simple tool for exchange and became the very thing that drives a wedge between us.
The cost of playing this game wasn't some abstract economic theory. It was deeply personal. The argument is that it systematically destroyed our most fundamental relationships. It started by pitting brother against brother, and then it went even deeper, fracturing the core family unit itself. It just corroded the bonds that are supposed to hold us all together.
And the fallout from this game? Well, it's now an existential threat. The monologue puts it in no uncertain terms. It says now it seems the lives of our future children, elderly, and youth are in danger. That's a chilling warning, that the most vulnerable among us and our entire future are on the line. And all of this leads to the monologue's most powerful, soul-searching question. Was this the point of it all? To be divided? To be arrogant? To put our own future in jeopardy? It's a moment that's meant to make you stop and think, and it pivots the whole narrative from just diagnosing the problem to desperately pleading for a solution. But after asking that incredibly heavy question, the source doesn't just leave us hanging. It actually proposes a path forward, a way to potentially cure this sickness of arrogance. It calls for a guardian, something to protect us from ourselves. And what is that guardian? According to the video, it's the law. The call to action is to create new laws. And why? Because as the source states, the law is the guardian of society. It's presented as the one thing we can create that can regulate the destructive game that money started. This brings us to a really powerful message of urgent hope. There is still time to get a grip. The source is making it super clear that this warning is not a prophecy. Our fate isn't sealed. It's a call to action because we, right now, still have a choice to make.
So this is what it all boils down to.
The source lays out the problem, what caused it, and a potential fix. It leaves humanity standing at a crossroads with two very, very different futures stretching out ahead.
And the choice couldn't be more stark. On one side, you have the ultimate warning, the risk that humanity itself could literally be erased from the Earth. But on the other side, there's the path to survival, the plea to get a grip before it's too late. It's either oblivion or redemption, and the source implies that the choice is entirely ours.
Which brings us to the final, lingering question. The source refers to humanity as the pride of the Earth. But are we living up to that name? Can we? And what about August 3rd, 2025? Maybe it isn't a date something happens to us, but a deadline for us to decide. A final call to choose if we really want to be the pride of this Earth. The source? Well, it doesn't give us the answer. It just asks the question.